This is a place.
This is the place.
This is a place. We want to talk about. This is a place.
Thank you for listening to This Is a Place podcast. My name is Brandon.
I'm Nate.
We want to wish you a happy National Chocolate Covered Cherry Day.
And a happy new year.
Oh, and a happy new year.
Chocolate covered cherries.
Yeah.
What are those ones that they put out for Christmas that kind of have like this white sugary sauce in them? Do you know what I'm talking about? Shoot.
White sugary sauce in there.
It's only during like Christmas time usually. There's a name for them. Chocolate. And they're like, what are those cherries that you put on your ice cream?
Maraschino?
Yeah, they're like those. Here we go. Oh, how do you say it? How do you say it? Like Queen Anne milk chocolate.
Oh yeah. That's what I had in mind. Chocolate
Okay.
covered cherries.
The cordial, is that how you say it?
Oh yeah, cherry cordial. Yes.
Cordial.
Yes.
When do you anyways? Yeah, do you like those?
I love them.
Really?
Yeah.
I like them too.
Do you see them at NPS in the next couple months? Just buy me a ton of them.
It's a good idea.
They're so good. I had ones the other day that were vanilla.
Instead of chocolate covered?
No, they still were, but it was vanilla inside.
Okay.
Maybe they're always like that. I don't know. I heard vanilla, I tasted it, and I thought,
I mean, because what is that kind of gooey sauce that's in the middle?
Heaven.
Yeah. It's just a sugar, watered down
When
sugar, right?
Adam and Eve partook of the fruit, that stuff oozed out of it when they took their first bite.
Wow. So this one I'm looking at specifically at Walmart, it's 30 pieces for $7.46. But serving size is 2 pieces.
Ooh.
Each. So 150 calories so that means there are 75 calories a piece. Every time you pop one, 75 calories.
Yeah. That's a lot.
And 27 grams of sugar.
Oh boy.
Maybe that's why they're so good.
Yeah, they're too good. It is the day you're allowed to eat those, and sugar and calories don't count. So live it up.
That's right. I don't start I think I mentioned this last year's episode, if I recall. I don't start like the whole diet thing until around the 15th-ish of the month. If anything, not till February 1st. Because it's my birthday month and I get all those coupons for free meals, and you're not gonna not use those. So I had to eat crappy during the month of January. But February 1st, that's when I'll start my weight loss goal plans. I'm gonna do it this year.
Right.
I'm gonna do it this year.
Yeah, me too.
This is the year. I'm losing 50 pounds this year.
Losing at least 24 pounds for 2024.
Oh, maybe I should have said that first. That's more doable.
So yeah, I mean it is New Year's. Happy New Year's, everybody. Hope your Christmas was good.
We didn't really chat about Christmas.
No, because we did our Krampus episode and we recorded it after or before Christmas came. So did you have a good Christmas?
You just let people know the secret?
I let them know the secret, yes.
Christmas was good. We still did our traditional Denny's. You went to IHOP.
I did, yeah.
Because I know because I saw you there.
I didn't see you, but I did see Santa.
You did see Santa. Santa went to IHOP to see Brandon. And this Christmas was interesting because we didn't like Oh, Christmas Day, we had to go to my sister-in-law's.
Had to.
Had to. Like it was, we were trying to figure out a reason not to go on Christmas, but my wife wanted to get it over with, so we did that. And but other than that, that was like an hour. Like it was just nice, like being home. It's like one of the first Christmases we've had where we didn't like have to go anywhere or do anything. So that was a present inside of itself. But can I tell you a fun story? I've been waiting to tell you for like 2 weeks now.
Oh, yes,
It has to do with
please.
Christmas
Let's
still.
hear it.
So my two boys, instead of making life easy and saying they just want whatever toys in the what just happened to my thing?
The hot toy.
Not even that. I don't like say I would be nice if they just said they wanted the new Call of Duty or something like that, right? A video game that's in the
Mm,
store. You just have to go to any store and you buy it, right? That would make life so much easier. But instead of doing that, they always want the impossible to find video game stuff, that retro stuff.
yes.
Bronco's really into Skylanders and they don't make them anymore. They haven't made them for years. So he always wants stuff to do with that, which is impossible to find. But then he changed his mind that he wanted an Xbox 360 so he could play one of his older Skylander games on it because he didn't never had an Xbox 360. And there's a lot of those out there, but it was still kind of hard to track down because I kind of waited till the last minute to find it.
I
But
do
then
have a
my
question. Why couldn't he just get a new Xbox and play it on there?
I don't think they're backwards compatible. A lot of the
Really?
games, yeah.
I thought
They
they
I
were.
know the last time I checked, the Skyline game he wanted to play wasn't,
Mm,
and I think that's yeah, it's so lame that they just don't do that. Um, but Rocky wanted a Sega Saturn, and that was impossible to find. So we thought, hey, let's go hit up some pawn shops and see if we can find this stuff. And we went to Dog Pond. We should have them on. They're kind of fun. They're like way into customer service,
oh
so they're
yeah,
like really happy and stuff like that.
I'm down.
Store's not very big, but it was kind of fun. They had a lot of retro stuff, and I ended up talking my son into getting a Sega Dreamcast, and he can get the Saturn later because they had a Sega Dreamcast. But before we made that decision, so we hit a couple pawn shops along Redwood Road. We went to the one on 70th and Redwood, and a few days before Christmas, and we're kind of digging. They have like a whole row full of video games and well, mostly CDs and DVDs, and there's some
Mm,
video games kind of mixed in them. So I'm like, let's go just kind of browse through there real quick to see for because he wanted another video. Anyways, so we're looking through those, and you remember the Case Logic CD cases,
the what? Case
Case
logic?
Logics, the CD cases, CD case holders that you like. It looks like a folder with that you put a whole bunch of CDs in. Are you that young that you don't know what a Case Logic is?
I don't know that
Mother,
phrase, but you're just saying basically yes,
it's the brand,
a
you know.
CD holder. Oh, okay. So that's like it's like a Kleenex.
Yes, yes. I mean, I'm sure there was different lots of, but Case Logic was kind of the. I can't believe this, Brandon.
Give me some credit. I know what a CD holder is. You said
Yeah,
that.
right. Um. Oh wait, it's uploaded. Never mind. So they hold like 120 CDs
Okay. Yes.
because back in the day we didn't have MP3 players to listen
I,
to.
I lived in those days too. I had
Okay.
a CD player.
Okay.
Walk. Not what do you call it? Not Walkman. What do you call this?
Discman.
Yeah, Discman. Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
sure.
Something like compact discs on.
So, so I see this Case Logic, and I'm like, sometimes people put video games in there, loose video games, Xbox games. So I pick it up and I'm looking at it, and it was a whole Case Logic full of basically 80% burned CDs.
Oh boy.
I'm looking, I'm like, well, this actually looks like my wife's handwriting, right? So
Okay.
I need to back the truck up before, like a few months before we even met. Her car got broken into, and they stole what?
Her
Her
case
Case
logic.
Logic and her CD deck in her car. So we're in a pawn shop, and those were her CDs from 20 plus years ago.
No way.
Yeah, way, right? So my wife's looking like, this is like, yeah, these are all my. And she remembered like each one like had shit like story like I burned this whatever, right? So 80% of them were burned CDs. So no value, right? Who wants a freaking burned copy of a CD?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, she took a couple pictures of it. I'm like, oh, should we ask if we can buy this? I'm like, can they probably get it to us for a few bucks? She's like, sure, just for the nostalgic memory and the story, right?
Right.
So we go up to the guy. The guy's kind of a younger dude. Well, I say younger, he's probably closer to my age. And he was there working with his son, was probably like 20. And I said, hey, we told him the story, and he's like, no way. And he thought the story was funny. And I said, so we don't really want it, but we thought it'd be fun to have. So what would you sell it to us for? And he like starts flipping through it, and he goes, $70. I'm like, whoa, we're not even the same zip code, little probably even state. Like, you're good. You can have it. He's like, what would you think? I'm like, I was thinking like $5. Like, this is like garbage. Like, literally, I find Case Logic in empty properties all the time. Nobody wants CDs anymore, right?
Yeah.
So I thought it was funny. He wanted $70 for it. I'm like, nah, not happening. But
70
what are
bucks
the
for that?
yeah,
Why?
yeah. And like
Because
it
of the
was
nostalgia?
80%. What's that?
Because of the nostalgia or what?
Well, I think he thought, oh, we have a chance to make some money because they want it. I'm like, we don't really want it. We just thought it'd be fun to have to tell stories,
Yeah.
or show people. Or
Should
go
have
show
given
her
it to
sister.
you.
That's what I thought too. Like, seriously, it was garbage. Like, nobody's gonna buy it. It's probably still there. But there was probably a good 20 CDs in there that were regular, CDs.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm like, you can take all those out. We don't care.
Yeah, they're not
But,
the CDs aren't vintage into the point of cool yet.
well, then he's like, oh, we still get like $3 a CD. And I'm like, bull crap, maybe for the rare ones. Because but I'm like, so then I asked, so if I bring you some of my CDs, what will you pay for them? He's like, oh, we're not buying anymore. We have too many. I'm like, that's not the point. Like, you're not selling them. Even that Dog's Pond, they were selling their DVDs for like 50 cents or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody's buying DVDs and CDs right now.
Yeah.
So, anyways, good times.
Well, that's crazy. I mean, all these years later, and that's there. I mean, it makes sense that nobody's gonna buy it, but that's crazy.
So yeah, small world, right?
Yeah.
Be interesting to know what the history of where those
It's
CDs
not
have
as
been.
cool, but it's one of those stories where it's like my grandmother's ring, was pawned 25 years ago, 50, you know what I mean?
All
It's
right,
it's
or
like in that same vein, not as amazing, but still it's pretty cool.
well,
That
it's just I think what are odds wise, right? Like, what are the we never well, especially my wife. I would go to pawn shops because I like to treasure hunt,
uh-huh.
but I usually don't pop into pawn shops very often. So what are the odds that we go together to a pawn shop and then we happen to go to a pawn shop that has her Case Logic? I mean, the odds are it was just crazy from 20
One in a
years ago.
million, something like that.
Something like that. Shoot, man. Why can't I win the Powerball instead?
Yeah, have a much better what are the odds scenario.
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of a fun Christmas story.
So you guys got all your kids got all the stuff they were looking for. Not exactly what they wanted, but still were able to come in with something.
They did. I mean, Bronco got what he wanted. Scarlett got what she wanted. Rocky was easy to convince about letting him do the Dreamcast first because his birthday's coming up in a week. So he's like, well, I'll just get the Saturn for my birthday. And I'm like, yeah, if we can flip and find it. And we
But he
did. To be
delays
honest with
your
you, we
hunt.
did find one Sega Saturn, but it was like down in Springville or something. And I'm like, I really don't want to drive. We just had so much going on. I was like, it wasn't worth it. So I convinced him with the drink. Plus, the cool thing about Dog Pond, I keep plugging them, is during the month of December, at least for the last few years, I've noticed every day of the month it is in December, you get that much off your purchase up to the 24th.
Mm,
So we were there like on the 23rd when we bought it. So I got 23% off, which made it a really good deal for the Dreamcast. And they also ended up having the Xbox 360 as well. And
nice.
that was yeah. So I bought both their things from Dog Pond. So it worked out.
Well, good. Glad you had a good Christmas.
Brandon, did you have a good Christmas?
Yeah, I did. Thanks. Our Christmas it wasn't too bad. I mean, we ended up at, as you mentioned, IHOP Christmas Eve, which is very much outside of our normal routine. So it was different, but it was still good. We had a little bit of a sickness that we didn't want to spread to certain people in my family. So not we weren't being irresponsible going into IHOP and spraying it to those people. Just
Yeah.
to be clear.
I mean, if
But
you're eating at IHOP, you already have a pretty strong immune system to begin
yes,
with.
yes, indeed. But yeah, so we didn't go a whole lot of places just because of the sickness. But we were still able to go out and do some things, be with some family, and overall, it was a pretty good Christmas.
Good.
And I mean, we're still. So what we have is ham, foot, and mouth. That's what we got, or my son got, and we thought it might be chicken pox, but then they confirmed that's what it was. So it's usually something that adults don't get. It's usually a kid
Right.
thing, so it's not as bad. But I was lucky enough to get a little bit of it myself as well. So Christmas and New Year's, that's kind of what it was just hunkering down, being together, the family.
Just hanging out.
Yeah, not too crazy.
I did tell my wife, I said something along the fact that she never listens to our podcast.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, well, I said something like along the lines that I know you don't listen to podcasts because I've mentioned you a few times in our podcast the last few months. So what does she do during Christmas break? She listened to like she caught up on all the episodes. So
Caught up on all of them?
yeah, yeah.
Like,
So I think every episode we should have like a secret word that she has to tell me. Then I know how long it takes her to listen to the episode.
okay. Yeah. So what's our secret word of the day? Fluffy fingers.
I don't know. Case logic.
Case logic. There you go. That's a good one. Well, shout out Becky. Thanks for listening. We're at 23 listeners now with Becky. Thank you.
But I guess she thinks we're funny sometimes. She says she was in the bathroom, like getting ready or something, and she burst out laughing, and Bronco thought something was wrong. So he
Funny sometimes. We're funny all the time.
came to check on her. So that's good. So we have, oh, and I tell you as well that one of my mission companions reached out to me and said, keep up the good work.
Ah,
Yeah, so
mission
he's
companion
listening from Arizona. So we'll do that. Shout out to Jeff Moon.
Nice.
So if you want to shout out on the podcast, reach out to us. So between my wife, Jeff, and Matt, we've got like 3 people who listen now.
Oh, so we've gone down. We were at like 20 something. Now we're down to 3.
Well,
Yeah,
you
sounds
said our
about
number.
right.
You said our numbers were going down.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Yeah. Our numbers have been down.
I feel like they roller coaster. Like if you look at our stat sheet, it's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
One month we get a lot, next month not so many.
And some months it's just in between.
You either love us or you hate us or you think we're just okay.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, we gotta put our nose to the grindstone a little more. Do some more work. I say this every year, and here we are.
Well, that could kind of segue into our topic ish for today. Like, what are the goals for 2024?
Well,
Here's another observation.
we
Another
hold on.
tangent.
Hold
Another
on.
tangent. No tangent yet.
No. Okay, fine. Do your
Oh,
tangent.
do my tangent.
Do your tangent.
How come every New Year's Eve people are always like, "Oh, good riddance. This year sucked. Next year's gonna be best." When is it gonna be a good year?
Never.
You know what I mean? Like, do you not notice that? Like every New Year's Eve or the week leading up to New Year's, everyone just talks about how like, oh, screw whatever year it is, and next year is going to be the best.
Yeah.
Nobody ever gets up and says, "Man, I'm so sad that this year's ending because this
That's
year's
so
been
true.
amazing."
That's so true.
Right?
Yeah.
How do we switch that? How do we change that?
It's called I don't know.
I don't know.
This is where it begins.
Yeah.
2023 was our best year, and it's so sad that it's gone, but
Nah.
we're excited for 2024.
2023 was just too
Let's be real. It was a pretty crappy year.
It was, I can't say crappy. I still had a good time, good year. It just was very busy.
Agreed.
Like I just feel like, so I didn't like it for that fact. So there's a lot of, yeah, a lot of things that happened, but nothing like earth shattering. But I am definitely looking forward to this year. I feel like this is the year.
This is the
This
year.
is the year it's going to happen.
I think 2023 wasn't that bad. We had a lot of weird stuff happen, a lot of weird, annoying, frustrating things,
Yeah,
but we did have some good stuff too. I mean, we had a fun trip we went on. That was it.
that was it.
No, but I mean, there's good and bad every year. So you're right. It shouldn't every year be, oh man, that was a crappy year. Let's move on to the next one because it will just be the same thing next year. You're gonna look back and be
Yeah,
like, that year sucked. Let's brand new beginnings, a new
right.
year again.
Yeah, but if you go like on Facebook on New Year's Eve, everyone's just like, or even New Year's Day, it's like good riddance to whatever year it was.
Yeah.
And next year is going to be amazing. Last year sucked. So
And it's been
that
pretty
was just an observation I had.
consistently, at least since 2020, that's been the case.
Yeah. But do you feel too that I loved, I loved and hated COVID. I love the fact that the world kind of slowed down and people kind of put in perspective what's really important
Yeah.
and things that you really need, even though it kicked the crap out of our economy and all that stuff. But I now feel like it's like life was fast before COVID, but now it's like we're almost playing catch up. So it's like on double speed, kind of like when you listen to your podcast and you have it on double speed. So I
Right.
just feel like it's getting more and more like so busy. Everybody wants things now, done now. And there's just like nobody's taking a step back anymore.
Taking a
But
chance to smell the roses
except for that person that hit the Powerball, I'm sure they're taking a step back because they can afford to now. But
before they blow it all on something else.
right.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
So with that being said, 2023 sucked.
It wasn't a
2024,
bad
we're moving
year.
forward.
So I did look back. I listened back, double speed, mind you, to
There you go.
our 2023 New Year's episode, or I guess it was a 2022 when we did it. And we did set a couple goals. So you set personal goals. You remembered them to reach out to people, which you said you did more of, right?
I did more. I didn't accomplish the goal I think I intended to,
Mm,
but I was a little bit more conscious. How do you say it? Conscious.
conscientious.
Conscientious of
I don't know what
like
that word even
I'm
means.
a conscience. I was more aware. Let's put it that way. I was more aware to try to make an effort to
More
be,
mindful.
yeah, to reach out to people. I mean, yeah, I just feel like there's so many. It's the same thing I said last year, right? You see all these like suicide prevention or depression things and all that stuff. But I feel like if everybody just reached out to a few people a week and just checked in, say hi,
Yeah,
I think that would help morale. I don't
sure.
know.
Yeah.
And we always, I mean, there's always the people that you know you need to reach out to, but I think it's like doing the people that you don't think you need to reach out to, because that's where when we think everything's fine is when people seem to not be fine.
Right.
So yeah, I want to start that movement again. So I'm going to try that again. I don't think I'm going to do my goal this year of trying to post more on Facebook. I'm not good at it.
You
I
did
never
four
know what to
posts
post. Did
last year.
I?
Yep.
That's like once
I
a
went back
quarter.
and counted.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. I'll make a goal to do 8.
Ooh, double.
Double
So
my
there
my
were more
posts.
posts you had like cross posts with your wife and other
What?
people. Like you did cross posts. Like you didn't do the post
Uh,
probably,
and
but you
get
were
tagged?
included. Yeah, like tagged kind
Yeah,
of. So you could kind of count those, but ones that just said your name, I counted for. Not that I was like trying to be like, yeah, you suck. You didn't complete your goal. I just was curious. I was like, oh, I
yeah,
feel like I did see you post more, but then it's just because you always pop up my algorithm every time you post. So
that's true. Or somebody would tag me, right, in their
right.
post. So maybe, yeah. I think my complaint last year is that I'm one of those people who people watch from the bench,
Hmm.
and I thought, well, it's not fair to everybody else to they have to post stuff, and I never post anything. So
Right.
maybe I will. Maybe I'll shoot for 8. Let's see. Let's see if I can get 8 posts this year.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do this. Let's do this. if I say once a month, then I'll hit 8.
There you go.
But it does make it easier. And we've talked about this before, having AI. Because sometimes I have like thoughts, and I have a few thoughts I need to post out to Facebook. Do you want me to post them here, or do you want to
Just send them to the internet.
send them to the internet? Number one, I need to know why people park backwards into parking stalls.
That is a
I
good
really
one.
need to know that.
Also curious.
I can't remember what my other question was.
That's the most important one, though.
It was just right there. That's the most important one. Oh, and then question number 2. So I was driving to pick up my daughter from my brother's house the other day, and he lives in Thanksgiving Point, so I'm I-15. And you know how like when you see a cop pulling somebody over, you need to give him that lane space. So I wanted to move. I was in the far right lane because I had to turn off, but he was pulling him over right there. So I'm like, I need to move over one. But like everybody in that left lane next to me slowed down like 15 miles less than the speed limit. And so I'm like, why do people do that when they see a cop? Like, do they
They're already
think the
pulling them
cops
over.
they're already pulled over, number one. Two, if you're going above the speed limit, yeah, absolutely slow down. But going 15 below the speed limit, you don't get extra credit. They don't like take notes.
Extra credit.
That's what I feel like they're doing. Like they slow. I'm like, what are you doing? I don't get
Yeah.
it. Like me personally, when I'm driving, I see a cop, I look down, and if I'm not going 10 over, then I feel okay, I'm good. And I will slow down a little bit to the speed limit, but it just drives me bonkers, people who drive below the speed limit.
Oh, they're overcompensating for something.
Yeah, especially when I see a cop. I'm like, what? At that time, by the time the cop sees you, you're already dead,
Mhm.
right? So slowing 15 below, I feel that's what they're doing. It's like, hey, cop, look at me. Like, mom, dad, look, Brandon's messing up, but I'm not messing up. Look at me.
No hands. Or
No
actually,
hands.
hands at 10 and 2.
I'm doing what I'm supposed to. So those are my two. I'm gonna post those on Facebook. We'll see how those go. I need I need I need to know why people park backwards. It doesn't make sense to me. Um and the driving thing. So both have to do with driving. I'll think of some more things. I was gonna
I'll
say
give you a like.
a lot of times I I feel like the guy from Elf in the mailroom. I've got a lot of ideas. 26 years old or
I'm
whatever he
20,
says.
26 years old.
26 years old. But a lot of times I have like a good idea and I don't know how to word it.
Yeah.
And AI has like
AI
changed my
helps.
life. And that's that aspect. I'm like, okay, that's what I was trying to say. So I can probably maybe this year make that a goal because I figured out how to use AI and it will help me write my post for Facebook.
People will think you're so intelligent.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, that's a good thought. And it's grammatically correct for once. I think Nate learned English.
They learn English. Good.
Good. English good.
Well,
Facebook bad.
good job.
So yeah, did I just
Did you lose
redo my
weight?
goals? Did I just redo my goals again?
You did. Did you
So
lose weight last year?
I did, and then I found it.
Good.
I
Good.
found it.
Good. Good. You didn't say, you said lose weight. You didn't say lose it and keep it off.
It's true. So there you
So
go. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
go through my goals. I was going to track my weight, not make a goal. So I kind of did track it here and there, and it got tracked. That's
Your weight
it.
got tracked.
Yep. Going to the gym 3 times a week. I did pretty good at the beginning, maybe like to the halfway point of the year, and then I stopped going to the gym. So not too good. I did read more books. I read a total of
One.
2. Does listening count? Because I listened to a book as well.
I don't know.
I listened to 2 books. I think it counts because you're still consuming
I
the
think so. Well, hold on. Were they like fictional or non-fictional?
one of each. I listened
Okay.
to The Shining.
Okay. So I would say I don't know. Because if you're listening to like an educational book, I think listening to it is just fine because you're learning.
Hmm.
But if you're listening to it for entertainment purposes, do you get as much benefit as you do reading the book when it comes to the exercising your brain?
Hmm.
I don't know.
Good point.
I don't read anyways. Doesn't matter. So this topic doesn't.
Either way,
Either way, I send it to you.
I did better. Still need to do some work on it, but yeah. And then for our podcast goals, so we had a goal. We did do this one. Ready? Drum roll. Podcast episode every week. I think that was a joke goal. But we were gonna have President Biden and President Nelson on our podcast. We did not do either of those.
Ooh,
No
and we
Michael
also
McLean or Donny Osmond or Kalani. We were supposed to go to Kennecott. We did not.
ooh, snap. We've been supposed to do that for 3 years now.
We were gonna go to Wendover, and we did,
That's good.
which was probably we did the episode right before we were going to Wendover, basically.
When did
So
we go to Windover? Was that in March,
February.
February?
Yeah,
Hmm. Can't believe it's been that long.
I know. And we also mentioned going to the Great Salt Lake, which we did not do. And we talked about doing a Cookie Wars episode, which we also did not do. So I think we still had a good year. We didn't accomplish everything we set out to do, but we had some. We had a good time. We still had a good time. And we had more guests than we normally do. Well, we had a healthy dose of guests.
Yeah, we had some fun guests this
We
year.
had some real fun guests this year.
Which reminds me, my wife said she wanted us to follow up or something about when we're going to be in a movie.
Oh yeah.
Because he said something that she was like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm like, oh, but I think we said something previous because we recorded with them. What company did they have?
Cooper Home Entertainment.
Yeah. And then we, you know, mentioned like, what do you call it? A teaser. So, but she wanted me to follow up on when we're going to be in this movie. So we need to email her, huh? Say, hey,
Yeah,
we're ready.
I'll follow up.
We've been taking our classes. You've been reading books.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching movies.
You have?
Yeah, yeah. I've seen like 3 movies this month. Well, in the last 30 days, I should say. Not in January.
Yeah, we gotta be better with our commitments. Follow up on our commitments. Um, yeah, I don't know what we gotta do another field trip. I mean, like I threw that out there. We gotta go to Logan. I think that's our next big. We could do a month of Logan. We've done a month of Wendover, a month of Ogden. We could do a month of Logan, Cache
Well,
County.
are we doing an overnighter Logan trip, or are we doing a go visit for the day?
I don't know. I
I
guess it's
know
open for
there's not a whole lot
date.
of Windovers. You get free hotels.
Yeah, I do love free. Maybe it should just be a day trip. But I think we could even get a little bit further north than Logan, maybe to the Preston area.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just an idea. And maybe we don't do that one in February. Maybe that we save for warmer months.
Yes. Yeah. That was kind of the bugger of the Wendover trip is it was it was windy that
It was
weekend, so it
windy.
was super cold.
Yeah, but it was free, and we did it. So I don't know. I think we should shoot for spring. Spring we'll do something. Maybe go up that way. Yeah, we need to make it to Kennecott somehow. We got to figure that out.
Yes. I've been saying for yeah, since I've lived on the west side of the valley, I need to go visit.
And I think too, even just not the big field trips where we go somewhere, but us going out and doing more stuff. I think we did a little bit more of that last year, and I think that was good. So
We need more of those hidden gems that are Utah specific, but not a lot of people know about. Like, I mean, to this day, I mean, we talked about it multiple times, like Gilgal Gardens, like a lot of people grew up in Utah, they're like, they don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, stuff like that, or even the Hobbitville. Um, so mostly to do with Utah urban legend type stuff is the fun stuff.
okay, yeah, I like that.
But
I
yeah,
think.
yeah. So if anybody has any place that you're like, oh, dude, this is like very Utah specific, that would be great.
I mean, one thing I can think of. I mean, people know about it, but even just going up to Ruth Diner, I think that's pretty cool. Something we need to
Yeah.
try.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of things. There's things out there. We just need to discover them and let the people know. So we always ask for it, but please send in any recommendations you have. of things we could do to make 2024 the best year yet.
That's right.
I mean, we do have an election this year, so it's guaranteed to be amazing.
Trump 2024. I wore that hat on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve. I mean, New Year's Eve. I'm like, yeah, it's got 2024 in it. So
There you go. Bring in the new year.
but I always forget when I'm wearing that hat because um people make comments obviously about it.
Whether positive or negative.
Right. We went to Wendy's the other night and they were closing up, I guess, early. And this guy, man, he was the nicest, meanest worker ever. But he saw my hat and I'm 2 feet away from him, but he's yelling at me, like not yelling like he's mean, but he's like talking very loud about Trump and well, he's pro-Trump and all this stuff. And I'm like, you realize I'm 2 feet away from you, but I don't know if he wanted like the whole restaurant to hear what he had to say. But like I said, I forget I'm wearing that hat until somebody either
They remind you.
rolls their eyes at me or gives me the thumbs up. So yeah, 2024. So let's make a prediction. Who's the president at the end of this year?
Who's going to be president in 2024?
Well, in 2025, right? Well, who's
Oh,
gonna win the
yeah.
election?
Who's going to win the election in 2024? I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I'm not going there. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm gonna try to ignore it as much as I can. That's
Gonna
my goal
be
for
It's gonna be
2024.
weird. It's gonna be weird. I just think it's fun wearing Trump stuff because of the reaction people have to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you there. Just thinking of the podcast. Do we do something like a once a month? We do something. Does that make Sam like once a month we do or something to like hold ourselves accountable to? Like once a month we have a guest on, or once a month we do uh a field trip, go somewhere we've not gone before. Do we be that bold, that audacious with our
once a
goals?
month we say how many pounds we've lost.
Okay. Yeah, that's an idea.
I'll get you through the year.
But I'm just wondering, is it too much to commit to something like that, to saying we're gonna do X, Y, or Z once a month for the podcast?
Like a field trip once a month.
Yeah, like whether it be we're gonna have at least one guest on every uh, an episode a month, or we go to a place that we've not been before once a month for the podcast.
That would be a good goal.
Stretch
I mean, it's
ourselves.
fun. It is fun going out and hanging out. I mean, if we just did the asylum for all their holidays, there's three.
There's three right there. Well, we also have to go for Halloween too. So
Right.
got
Wait, so they have
Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's
Valentine's Day,
Day,
St. Patrick's Day,
Easter,
and Easter,
and
and
then
then Halloween. There's four. Boom. Only need 8 more.
It's true.
It's hard because I feel like it's easier to get out and do the field trips when it's based around a holiday, when there's like special events going on. So outside of that, it's one of those, oh, we'll do it next week, or whatever, or next month.
Yeah, time is the essence, isn't it? It really is our shackles. But I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's a hard goal, but I think maybe something we shoot for, something we try to do. Once a month we go somewhere different, somewhere new. We actually visit somewhere. But that's my 2 cents. And that's our episode. Didn't really have a person, place, or thing we visited today, but we got some fun stuff coming up this year.
We did hit the zoo the other day, finally.
Oh, yeah.
And as we're driving past, This Is the Place Park, Bronco starts singing This Is a Place. And then instead of saying we want to talk about, he says, what are we gonna talk about? I'm like, I kind of like that.
I do.
That's
Yeah.
what we had today. What are we gonna talk about?
Oh, another thing, we need to do more songs. We haven't done a new song in a
I
minute.
know. I actually was just thinking that the other day too. I mean, we talked about it like a month ago, but the other day I was thinking about that. So
A month, a song a month. That sounds a lot like a lot.
no, like once a quarter,
Once a
once a
quarter.
holiday,
Once a
major,
quarter.
once a major holiday.
So like Martin Luther King Jr. Day is coming up. Do we need to do a song for that?
Do we?
Once a quarter. A song once a quarter. Visit a place once a month. I like it. You feel good?
We can do it.
Just send it to the internet.
Send it to the. It's okay. I own it. Send it to the internet.
Well, I think we got some good things coming up. Our future is bright. I'm going to be better at social media. I'm real terrible at it. I maybe post once a month there. So I'll be better. I mean, not for me personally, for the podcast. And yeah, if you guys, anybody wants to come on, let us know. We'll literally have anyone on the show. Not because I don't say that like that's how desperate we are. We could get people. Like if I worked hard and reached out to people, we could get some good guests, right? But that's a lot of work. So if you want to come on and make my job easier, make our jobs easier by just reaching out and asking to be on, past history shows we'll literally have anyone on.
Yeah, for a small fee,
A small fee. Yes.
which is usually just cookies
Yeah. So let us know.
or a drink.
Follow along. 2024. What are we gonna talk about?
What are we gonna talk about? And it'll be so awesome next year when we're talking about BYU going to the playoffs for
The
football.
Natty winning the national championship.
I was thinking that yesterday. Should we make like a commitment that if the next, well, if and when BYU ever makes the playoffs, that we have to go?
You have to go.
So do we? I was like, oh, so do we make like a financial budget plan? Like every month we put like,
You foot in the
I
bill.
mean, how long is it going to take? Is it going to take 5 years? Put $10 aside. We put $50 aside every month into a
Pot.
into a account or something that has interest bearing.
May as well put it into a 529 because it's gonna be
I was going to say like some CD or something for
CD. How much faith do we have in our team?
So at the end of the year, you take that money, you roll it into a CD for another 12 months, and then you build up another account for 12 months, and then that next year you roll. Anyways,
Why we do it for a long time?
I don't know. Could they?
Crazy things could happen. Basketball might come sooner than football from the looks of it.
No, man, we always figure out a way to choke. That's what we wanted to talk about.
Thanks for listening to our planning session. We really got to see how the sausage was made today.
The sausage was made.
Thanks for listening to This Is a Place podcast.
And this was stuff we just talked about.
Stuff we just talked about. We want to talk about.
We wanted to talk about it.